Okay.
And Bill mute us after the joke.
Intentionally, I see. Okay. All right. I just noticed it's raining here, so we're recording now, everybody. What we've covered so far is the first week we covered the outside of the device, all the buttons on your device, the screen, the antennas, how much memory you have, the size and type of your device. Then we moved to the screen itself and the icons on the screen and moving them around. Then we went to notes and we learned how to use the keyboard and all the little secrets and things about using the keyboard. Probably not all of them, but a lot of them. Last week we finished that up, got into settings, covered a bunch of the settings in there. And first thing is, are there any questions about what we've covered so far?
I have a question, Bill. I see that Don is having a tough time getting his camera going, but he's got a picture of himself there. How do you get that on a screen?
Okay, that would be if you have the Zoom app. It's in settings for Zoom. I actually log on to my account on the internet, and I log on to my account, and one of the features on the account I think is profile. So I logged on to the internet, I typed in zoom.us. It came up, I put in my account name and password, and it says profile. And in the profile, there's a picture, and you can modify that picture. See, if I stop screen sharing, oh, it came up with my background. Oh, that's interesting. I think that's what I set it up as. So that's my picture background. Okay. All right. The picture I chose was the background.
Could his be as simple as he hasn't selected start video yet?
Don, did you click start video?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And that's when I get the message that the computer does not detect the camera. So I'll work on it later. Thank you.
All right, Don.
Bill, I had a question.
Go.
Last week you said that if we wanted to add an extension to a phone number,
Yes.
we could go comma, comma, and the extension number. And I tried that and it didn't work for me. Am I doing it wrong? I couldn't get it to go on my iPad, so I did it through my computer. So as I look at
Well, it has to be on the phone number.
It is.
That you're dialing on your phone.
Yeah, it's on the phone number, and then I went comma, comma, 307, which is the extension number, and it didn't work. It's the wrong person. I got a man, and this contact is a female. I don't know who that was.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
No comment.
No.
Not being judgmental. Are you sure you have the right extension? So
yeah, because then I dialed this gal through the switchboard, and you know how it says if you know the extension you're calling, so punch it in. So I did. I punched that extension in, and I got the person that I was hoping to get.
Did you start with the switchboard number?
What do you mean, switchboard number?
Well,
yeah,
you add the.
I did.
And when it's asking for the switchboard number is where the commas should be. Try it.
That's where they are.
Okay. Try it with a semicolon.
Semicolon. Okay, I'll just play around with that. I
Yeah.
just thought maybe I heard it wrong or something.
No, you should, in your contacts,
Mm-hmm.
let me bring up my phone. So there's my phone on the right portion of the screen.
We're not seeing it.
Not yet.
Oh, I'm not sharing my screen, that's why.
I just wondered if anybody else had tried it. and
Am
got
I,
it.
are you seeing it now?
Yeah, now we
Now
can.
we've
see it.
got your screen.
Uh-huh.
Let me move something out of the way here.
One thing you might try is if the message is particularly long about, if you know the person's number, you might add another comma just to, you
Oh.
may not be getting the whole
That's
message.
true, Bill.
Okay, I'll try another camera. I guess I've just got the like 941 and then this it's 3, 3, and 4. That's okay. Don't worry about it. I'll play around with it.
Okay,
Thank you. Put my hand down.
so what do you see on your screen right now? No, you don't see.
Folders.
Hold on, let me get it to come up.
You're in. Now the iPad screen, it looks like.
Got the iPad screen but no phone?
Uh-huh.
Now the
Now
phone
we've
is up also. You got both 1 and 2.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, what I'd like to do is have everybody go to settings. Settings and then general. Here's where we left off last week. We were going through a bunch of these. Just a little review there. iPad, iPhone storage, if you tap that, here's where you see how much of your device you're using. And you get a list of which apps you have and what amount of storage they are using. Okay,
Question,
go ahead.
on the showing the apps, it's showing a lot of the apps that I don't have visible on my screen in my iPhone, purposely because I thought deleted them, but apparently just
Are they in a
taking them
folder?
off the screen does not delete.
They may be in a folder, Lee. If you're in this list, you have them on your phone.
Okay,
All right,
Bill,
yes.
tell me again how you got to the screen for the iPad.
I went to settings,
Settings, general, and then which?
settings, general, and then it says iPad storage.
Ah, gotcha.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
good. The next one down is background app refresh. What in the world is that? This is a feature that Apple's giving you control over, and that is your apps. You have a bunch running in the background, and they may be using battery life by refreshing, like it's checking to see if you have email, it's checking to see if you have messages, it's checking the current weather. Those kind of apps update themselves frequently, and it uses battery life. So if you tap it, and you'll notice I've turned all mine off on both my iPhone and my iPad.
How do you turn them off?
You tap it where it says background, and on the iPad, there's this little button right up here, and you make that gray. And on the iPhone, where it says off, if you tap where it says off, you can turn it on. You can turn it on for Wi-Fi or Wi-Fi and cellular. If you do have it on, don't turn it on for Wi-Fi and cellular. The cellular is where you're being charged for the information that's being transmitted to you. And if you can't get Wi-Fi, your phone will automatically switch to cellular.
Oh, Bill, I'm sorry, but on the phone,
Yep,
I got the background app refresh and
yep.
almost everything is on. And you think I should have everything off?
Yeah, so it's an easy way to turn it off is to tap where it says on at the top, where it says Wi-Fi at the top, tap that and turn everything off.
Well, if I tap Wi-Fi, I'm not tapping off.
No. You see where the arrow is beside background app refresh? And it
Yes,
says, yours says,
now it says
yours says
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. So I tap where it says Wi-Fi and then I tap off.
Thank you.
Bill, if you want to use one of these apps, do you have to go turn it on?
No, this isn't to use it. If you go to use it, it will work. This is if it's in the background, it will tend to use resources.
Okay, so just leave them off, basically, is what you're advising.
That's what I do, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Bill, I can't find it on my iPad.
On your who? On your iPad? Oop, I lost you.
Okay, I go to settings.
Go to settings, general, and it should say iPad storage there.
Yeah, and then what?
Tap iPads, I'm sorry, below iPad storage, it says background app refresh. Does it?
Got it. Thank you.
All right.
Hey, Bill, if mine were all on, how would it have gotten it on? Would it have gotten it on when I bought the phone?
Yeah, the default is on.
Okay. But you said just put everything off.
That's what I suggest.
Okay.
We then have date and time. And that's just to set or change the date and time, right? You really want that on, set automatically, right, for whatever zone you're in.
Settings.
All right.
General.
Bill, does the phone automatically know what zone we're in, or do we have to set that?
No, it knows what zone you're in.
Okay. All right.
I mean, everybody should say New York there. Unless you turned automatic off, and then I could have it set for San Jose, right? And then I don't have it set automatic, and I would always get the time in San Jose, whatever time it is. Okay? So far, so good? You know, the other feature that, go ahead.
I shut mine off, Bill. Now I can't get it to come back on.
I can't either.
What'd you shut off?
Oh,
What did you shut off? Hello?
The background refresh.
Okay, you go back to background refresh. Are you on the iPhone or iPad?
Yeah, I turned it off, just to see what it
No,
would do.
iPhone or iPad? iPhone or iPad? Hello?
I hit the off and it won't come back to on.
I know. Are you using your iPhone or your iPad?
iPad.
Okay. And it says, and that's my iPad up on the screen, right? And you turned it off?
Yeah, I turned it off.
Well, tap the little gray button and it should come on.
I don't have any little gray button.
No. Yeah, I'm having the same problem. I lost it.
Bill, this is Nadine. I'm new, but on mine, I have turned everything off, and instead of a button where you have the button that's green, mine actually says the word off. If I click over to the next screen, if I click on the word off and go to the screen, I can then select either Wi-Fi or Wi-Fi and cellular data.
Yeah, that's on your iPhone. Is that correct?
No, I'm on my iPad.
Oh, that's
Okay.
iPad. The same thing I got, Bill.
Okay, then
Yeah.
go to the next screen and you should see an off there. So it's the same, the operating system you're on is different than the one I'm on. So if you look at my iPhone on the screen, right, it says background, and that's what you're telling me you're seeing. You tap it and then switch it.
Bill?
Yes.
No, I'm like them. We have lost this background app refresh option. It doesn't even show up now. You go to general and you go to iPad and you get 11.9 gigabytes of 32.
No, that the next one down. It's background app refresh, not storage.
Okay, background app refresh. Okay. Oh, now it's off. Okay. So, and you want that off now, you said?
That's my suggestion.
Okay. And then when we
Go
go
ahead.
back, we don't have those little green dots anymore.
What do you have there?
AccuWeather, Airbnb, Apple Store has all my apps. I wonder if I go back to, I had mine on Wi-Fi cellular. You said not to do that, correct?
I suggested you turn it off.
Okay. That's how you get the little dots. If you,
Are you on the iPad or iPhone?
iPad,
All right, I need to go back.
okay.
I'd like everybody to go back to where it says general at the top of your device,
Mhm.
general up here. Right? So it says general at the top center like it does on the iPhone and the iPad on your screen. And tap about. And what's it say on yours? Does it say software version 313.6?
Yeah, that's what I have, 13.6.
So you should see exactly what I'm seeing then.
Okay.
Not? One of you's shaking your head, one of them's not.
Yeah.
What type of phone do you have?
Yeah, I'm seeing what you're showing. This is Louise. I'll get off.
Yeah, okay. You're not seeing what I see? With 13.6, we should all be the same. If you have 13.6, right?
Bill,
I got Bill 13.5.1.
So it may be slightly different on that.
Bill,
Bill, mine is 12.4.8.
That's probably, and yours may be different.
Okay.
But we have an update. Mine says on the iPad, it says 13.5.1, and I have a little one in the general, which means I have an upgrade. So it might be it.
Update, yes. Yes. If you have a 1 on general, that means you have to do an update. And it will do it automatically. If you click on,
Okay.
you go back to, I go back to general here and I tap software update. Okay. Don't do it now, everybody. But that will start your, you can do an update, right? You can also customize. If you tap that, I want to install updates automatically over Wi-Fi. So you turn those features on. That's your iPad. Let me get the phone. I need to do one thing on the phone here. Okay. You should customize it. Okay. So that I'm now in, I went to General, I went to Software Update, and I tapped where it says Customize Automatic Updates at the bottom. And it says you want to download the iOS updates automatically. You turn on both of those. And if you plug in your device at night and don't turn it off, just let the screen go blank, right? Then you should be in good shape to, it will automatically update overnight. Now, it may not the first night or the second night, but one night it will do that. I plug in both my devices every evening, and I'm asked that question often. When do I plug it in? If you really want to get particular about it, you plug it in when the charge is 70% or less. And actually you should do it between 70 and like 30%, right? And once in a while, leave it go clear down. As I said, I'm not judicious about that. I plug it in every evening, and your device actually adapts itself to how much you're utilizing it and trickle charges it if it's like 80% instead of full charging it. So you're not doing I can't say no harm, but all right. So I plug it in, make sure the iPad is on the internet Wi-Fi and the iPhone is on Wi-Fi when you do that. And they'll automatically update. Any questions on that one?
Is there an issue to going ahead and doing the install on your own, even if you've got it set to automatic, if you're impatient and want to get it done?
Yes, there's no issue. I understand. The question is, can I force it to update? Sure. Okay, just prepare not to use it for a while. In other words, start the update and go to lunch, go to dinner, go to bed, whatever. Okay?
Bill, do you do you take it all the way up to 100% every night then?
Just about, yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I thought just recently they said keep it at 20 to 80.
That's when you should be, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So if mine is only 80-ish, I shouldn't do it until the next night?
If it's 80, I wouldn't do it, right.
Okay.
I mean, there's no need to, you haven't used much of it.
But it doesn't hurt it?
Doesn't really hurt it, no.
Okay.
I guess if you do that consistently day in and day out for 3 months or something, or 2 years, it might hurt it, but.
Bill, on my iPad mini, it says 68%, but I had it plugged in to charge it, but it says not charging. what does that mean when I've got a good charger and it's plugged in?
You don't have a good contact
Oh, okay. Okay.
somewhere.
Somewhere. Okay. I'll check it out. Thank you.
All right. Okay, I'm going back. So I'm looking at the general settings, and I'm down to keyboard. Okay. And you'll notice that I have all the features turned on except for split keyboard on the iPad. I want an autocorrect, I want shortcuts, I want all the different features, predictive, right? I want to enable dictation. I have my language set to English. There's a cool little feature on your iPhone and iPad called text replacement. If you're always typing an expression like your full name, or if you have an expression you always use at the end of your emails or something like that, you can set up a text replacement. And what I've done, I said LOL. If I type in LOL on the keyboard and press the space bar, it will say laugh out loud. It will actually spell that out. Or if I say OMW, it will say on my way. Or if I type in WTC, it would spell out my email address. If I type in 2 @ signs in a row, it would put my Gmail address in. Okay? And the only question you might have about that is, how do I add one? Now here's where we switch gears into, gee, what's the general way you add things? You look for the plus sign somewhere, okay? And there's the plus sign. Then you type in the phrase you want and the shortcut you would like to have. Okay, now don't make the shortcut AND or something like that. Else every time you type the word AND, your phrase will get stuck in there. Okay, everybody try that one.
Is this just on the phone? Is this just on the phone?
It's on phone and iPad. On the iPad and phone, it's under keyboards, text replacement. General keyboards text replacement is the way you get there. Type the plus sign and say, type in your initials and then type in your full name. So you type in your full name for the phrase, and then you put your initials, assuming they're not Adeline, Nancy, DeMarco.
Bill, are we using just the plus sign, or are we also doing the edit at the bottom of your screen?
I'm using just the plus sign.
Just the plus sign.
I finally found out where you are, and I'm on the phrase and shortcut.
Yep.
The only one I've got in here is LOL, which I never put in. I guess that's a default.
And that's one that they put in to give you an example.
Okay, so I'm on phrase, and I put in...
Like your name. Ann Ross.
I put in, I'm sorry, Ann Ross.
Mm-hmm. And then for the shortcut, you just type in lowercase a, lowercase r.
I did it the opposite. It
Whoops.
didn't come out right.
Yeah. You type your full name and put your initials in. Supposed to be a shortcut.
Does it ever screw up and put it where you don't want it?
As I said, if you use if your name is Orville Fox, and you type in OF, yep, it will.
Okay, okay.
So you can't.
I added one on my iPad and it automatically went to my phone.
Isn't that amazing? Don't you like that? No reach.
Bill,
Yes, go ahead.
I have a question. I put in my name, but I ended up with the JP over under where it should spell out, and my spell out under where the initials are.
So
What did I do?
You
It
goofed.
switched.
Now, how do you get rid of one?
Good idea.
Good idea. Glad you did that. If you tap edit at the bottom, and this is a key one for everybody, if you tap edit at the bottom, you'll see the little minus sign show up.
Yeah.
Hit the minus sign and that will remove it.
But then you want, how do you get it in there the right way? Ask him how you get it in the right way.
And I say, I want to delete LOL. So
Okay.
now you got to go at it again.
That's all right. I got that figured out. Thanks.
All right.
Bill, can you add a photo or another file instead of just,
I don't, no, I think you have to have, that would be cool, but I think it's a phrase.
I'm thinking of adding a signature.
Right, I know. They
Question,
haven't
Bill.
added that capability yet. I don't think so. Hold on. Nope. I was touching the screen where this cursor is to see if I could insert a photo, and it won't let me do it yet. That's a good suggestion. I have to send it to not Steve.
Bill, a question in relationship to this. Will it work on something other than message? We have
It will
messengers.
work anytime you use the keyboard.
Thank you.
So it's the keyboards that's the determining factor, not where you are.
Bill,
Yes.
I have the text replacement on my iPhone, but I don't have it on my iPad under keyboard.
You have the most recent operating system?
It's the 7th generation.
No, what's the OS you have on it?
Let's see, I go back to. How do I get that again? I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's good exercise. So I'm going to go back. You said on your iPad, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I go back to General and keep tapping the back arrow, and I tap About, and it says what operating system you have on there. Software version.
Okay, it's 13.6.
Okay, now let's go back to keyboard. Go back one, go to keyboard. Text replacement is there, is it? Under keyboard?
Oh, yes, it is.
That's what you tap.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Well, I typed in my initials, and then I wanted to have my first and last name be represented by those initials. I got the message that spaces weren't allowed. However, there is an expression that was already in my phone on my way that has spaces. So is there some other way to do
The
that?
shortcut cannot have spaces.
Okay.
The phrase can.
Okay, how do I get to a phrase from the text replacement screen?
Okay. You see, where are you on, your iPhone or your iPad?
iPhone.
So I'm on my iPhone, and I'm on the screen that says text replacements. Is that correct? And I tap the plus sign. Then I type in the phrase. I will be there.
Okay, so I just entered it, my typing in the wrong one of those two choices.
Yeah.
Okay, great, thank you.
Are capital letters important?
In the, Ann, I don't know whether it accepts, you're saying for the shortcut. Certainly for the phrase, they're important. But I don't know about the shortcut. I'm going to try it lowercase. I'm going to try it uppercase. I will be there. Right? So I just typed in IWBT and I tap save. And now I'm going to go to notes, start a new note. Oops, new note. I will be there. Yes, so it's not, the shortcut can be either capital or lowercase, doesn't matter. That's not case sensitive.
Thank you.
Bill, next question.
Go.
Under your text replacement, you have WTC, but it also lists you as William T. Crow or at Verizon. How does it differentiate or know which one you wanted to put in there?
Okay.
Under your W, you have two WTCs. Can you hear you?
I do, don't I?
Yeah.
That ought to be interesting. I don't know which one it's going to pick. I think it picked.
Clap on it twice to get what you want.
I don't know. Why would I have two like that? Well, that's kind of dumb.
You lost your phone connection to the screen.
Oh, that's what I.
So what happens if I type in? What happens if I type in WTC? That's the first one, right? Yeah, it looks like it only finds the first one. It stops there. So I need to do an edit and get rid of one of those.
I thought you had a different symbol for your email address.
I do. I have two different emails.
Isn't that why there are two names under there? Under the W heading? Because you have two like @ signs in order to have your email come up?
No, you can
Maybe
see.
I misheard.
Yeah. Let me go back to my iPad here. Okay, I got rid of one. It's the two @ signs that are down there that give me my email address.
Oh, okay.
I think I'll add another one called oops. And I'm going to make this one old @ sign. Okay, so that's my older email address. Okay, so everybody I think has the idea at this point, which is good. Now the
Bill?
key, yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
That's all right.
How do we get our picture down to just a little corner in the picture of you instead of us. You're not on our screen. We're on our screen, the big screen.
Plus a little screen.
Plus the little screen. How do we get back to having you there while you're talking with us?
Do you have my screen? Oh, you just want me in the big screen?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, we don't want to see ourselves.
You're on the computer, right?
iPad.
You're on the iPad?
On the iPad.
Uh-huh.
We're too dumb to get in the computer this morning.
No. If you tap the screen, see, I don't, Bill, do you have the iPad up? With us on the meeting? No.
I don't. I'm on a PC, but
Yeah,
It says switch to screen share on top.
What's it say?
It says switch to screen share.
No, you don't want to do that. Tap
No.
3 buttons.
Tap 3 buttons. Got it.
What's it say?
Chat, meeting set, minimize, virtual background, raise hand, disconnect.
It's on the left side. Tap the screen on the left side of the screen. It'll have a little checkerboard.
A little checkerboard.
Different
I
symbol.
see. Switch camera. I don't see a checkerboard on the left side.
But you're seeing me on the big screen?
Do that.
No, we're just seeing us.
We're just seeing us. We don't want to see us. We want to see you.
Well, I'm there too, but
I
We're
know.
we're on the big screen and the little block at the bottom at the same time. And also we got a thing that says we're recording.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
recording it.
So that's not
okay.
us. Okay.
That's not you.
Is it just us that sees us in 2 places and everybody else sees you?
do you see the screen where Bill is showing his iPad and iPhone?
No,
No.
we only see ourselves.
Okay. In the box that's the picture of you, that's on there should be on the left side of that box, there should be something that says speaker view and gallery view.
No. Unless
Tap the screen. Tap the screen.
Okay. I got us down to 1 picture on the bottom, and then my husband's name's on the left-hand side of the screen. But we're still 2 pictures of us. I'm sorry if this is taking up time. Bill.
You're entitled to be part of the class.
Are you in, you have to exit full screen. Will that work?
You say excellent.
Full screen.
They're on an iPad.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay.
We have if I tap the screen on top, on the right-hand side, you have the 3 little dots. You have participants, share content, stop video, and mute. Well, I know what mute.
That's on the right side. On the left side, what do you have?
Well, I have a switch camera, I have a leave, and I have my husband's name down at the bottom. Why don't you just
What's
go
the
on?
second thing? What's the second thing? You said you had switch camera or what?
Switch camera, and then there's the leave button, leave.
Oh, that's
And
to
then-
leave the meeting. Don't want to do
Yeah,
that.
we don't want to do that either.
Yeah, I had a picture of one I was doing yesterday, and when I touched myself, there should be the switch camera, and then I have below that it says switch to active speaker.
If I touch me, I get a switch camera.
And do you get another one just below the switch camera that says switch to active speaker?
No, it doesn't.
Is there anything below it? Right below?
That switch camera, I've got a blank screen.
No, that's the other camera. Don't do that. Is there anything right
Switch
below that?
Okay, I got it.
We're back now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We're back.
Okay.
We can see other people, but we can't see ourselves now.
That's
At the
fine.
bottom. All right.
All right.
Bill, a question about the text replacement. Is there any limit to the phrase that you can, the size of the phrase that you can replace with a shortcut? And the reason I'm asking is because when I consult, there is a long sort of phrase that I put in every consult, it's 3 lines. Would be to have
I don't
a
know.
shortcut.
I don't know.
I would have to test it.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I know on the computer, you can make phrases, you can make paragraphs, you can make a book for a shortcut, with a
Yes.
shortcut. But I
Yes.
don't know about here. All
Thank
right. Any other questions? Boy, that one spawned a lot.
I have one on split keyboard. What is it?
It's for the iPhone. Is it on the iPhone? And the iPad. It puts the keyboard, if you look at the iPad on the screen, it puts the keyboard on this side and this side. So you can actually work it with your thumbs from 2 different sides of the screen.
Mine is on my iPad and I never get a split keyboard.
Well, let me bring up a keyboard and see if it comes up here. There's a split keyboard. I put my finger here and here, and I pull them together. And then I put my fingers on the keyboard near the G and the H, and I pull them apart. Oops, didn't work that time. Some way to get them apart. Now I can't get them apart. Oops. There you go. Okay.
I didn't know I had it on, and it's never happened, so I won't worry about it.
Good, because it can be a pain. That's why I have it turned off.
Bill, I have a question about the speech to text, the little
Yes.
microphone.
Yes.
Is there any way to make it smarter? No, the reason why I ask is a lot of times I will go back to review it and it will have put capital letters on certain things that I say, and I don't want capitals. And then when I use the little down arrow to get other suggestions, it's everything except the same word with lowercase letters. So I have to go and automatically, is there any way to customize it or?
No.
Okay.
You could
It's just stupid.
reintroduce it. You could turn off Siri, turn it back on, and then it takes you through that series of sentences where it's trying to understand your voice better.
Okay.
But somehow it's picking up something. If you say new line, it will capitalize a new line.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
For example.
And sometimes it just writes into the text, new line.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I've learned you can say new paragraph, and that works also.
Okay.
But that's handy.
Yes. See if there's any other one here. I have multiple keyboards, right? And you should have 2, I think. Most of you have 2. One's Emoj and one's English. I've added a Korean keyboard, for example. And there is a way to add additional fonts. You can go to the App Store. So we go to the App Store and we tap search. So I've gone to the App Store on my iPad, right? And then down here it says search. So I tap that and I will type in oh, come on. Fonts, and I press enter, and it will give me many fonts that I can now download. Okay, so I have downloaded a bunch. And when you do that, and you're in a note, the keyboard shows up on the screen, and you tap, now the globe, the smiley face turns into a globe. I'm sorry, it doesn't work quite that way. How do you get to use the font?
Would it be the AA?
Oh, really? Was that Sharon?
No.
Who was that?
That was Judy Stratton.
Very good. And I've got multiple fonts up here listed.
What's the name of that app?
I've got a couple of them on here.
Oh, there's a oh, okay. Each font has its own app.
Each font selection. This is one that I'm using right now, and there's all the different. So I can change it to. Let me move it over here to one that you'll recognize as being weird.
So you got the boldface and the underlining by downloading a new font app.
I believe so, yeah.
I was wondering how to do that.
But I should have other ones there too.
What's the back arrow?
Say again?
What was the back arrow?
I don't know where you were.
Where you were looking for your font? There's a back arrow on. What's the grid?
So once you've downloaded one of those fonts, you go to here and you turn on fonts. And I'm allowing the fonts full access. So now when I go to the keyboard, I have a lot more font selection. I have font multiple languages. Okay.
Still under the keyboard section of the settings.
What I did was I downloaded the font, then I went to settings, keyboards. Where did I go? settings, keyboard fonts,
Uh-huh.
and I enabled them. Once I've enabled them, then I go to
Hey, Bill, excuse me for interrupting. I need to check out, but I will watch the recording.
all right, dear. Thanks for
I know.
joining us.
Okay, enjoyed it.
Yep. And now I have these different fonts, right? So I have now unlock font. If I've downloaded this normal font, but then I can use various features in it until I get to this one and it says unlock it, right? And they want to charge me for that one.
Ah.
Okay. And I have a different font pack. I've got 4 different fonts that I downloaded. Here's another one. Yeah, free trial for $5 a week, huh? Oh yeah. I think that's why I didn't do this one. Probably. Okay, how to install the keyboard? I went to allow. And now I should be able to get that font in my list as well. No, didn't show up yet. As you can see, some of them are kind of interesting to get to operate. My recommendation is the term called poke and hope. You keep messing with it until you get it to work. Okay?
Do you recall where you got like the boldface and the underlining? What app?
Let me show you which one that is. On my iPad, you see the one right here? It's called Fonts, and it looks like that. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Let me go back there. If you have a mouse, right? That's a Bluetooth mouse, it can hook to your device. And here's where you would go to get it to operate. Okay? Anybody know what a VPN is?
It's a secure system that you superimpose on your Wi-Fi, right?
Virtual private network.
It stands for Virtual Private Network. And the idea here behind a virtual network is that nobody knows where you are in the world. So right now, when you use the internet and you send an email, it's tagged with where it's been sent from, and you have an ID on the internet where you are, so they know where it came from. Mine came from Buckingham Street in Sarasota, Florida. If I have a VPN, what happens in all your transactions is when you do something on the internet, it first goes to the VPN server. The server takes it, puts whatever identifying marks on it you choose. You could say, hey, I'm in Paris, France. And it sends that ID out to everybody. And then when it comes back, it goes to the server and gets identified back to you. So it's like a pseudo name somewhere in the world, or a pseudo location, I guess would be the better way to say that. Somewhere in the world about where you are. So it's a privacy kind of thing. And they charge. Anybody have one, and how much you paying? Nobody? Okay. If you had one, you're paying what, $10 to $30 a year, I think, somewhere in that range. And the last thing I want to cover
Bill, do you have a VPN? Do you feel it's necessary?
I do not use a VPN right now. If I were going to use one, I would go on the internet and I would say VPN recommendations and get to see how much they are and what people are saying they recommend.
Thank you.
The last one, and I don't want anybody to go here. I'm in general. You see where it says reset at the bottom of the list? Now I'm going to go there, but I don't want any of you to go there, okay? This is where you would go if you wanted to give up your device. In other words, you just got yourself a new phone and you're selling or trading this one in. If you're trading or turning this one in or selling it, first of all, you want to make sure it's backed up. And you do that by going to your name. I'm doing it on the iPad. Your name and the iCloud. You scroll down to the bottom and it says backup down here. iCloud Backup. Everybody get that? In order to back up your device, it usually backs up every night anyway if you have it plugged in. But if you want to get rid of it, you want to make sure you have everything you've got on your device backed up in the cloud. You go to your name at the top of the settings list. Then you click on iCloud. You scroll down in the iCloud list to where it says, I go by it, yeah, where it says iCloud Backup. It's turned on right now. If I click the arrow, I can say backup now. Now mine says it backed up last night at 11:07, which is fine. All right. So now you're getting ready to turn it in. You've gone to the Apple store. They've talked you into getting this brand new snake and whatever. They've talked you up another model level. And you go to General. You scroll down to where it says Reset. And you say erase all content and settings. Don't do that now. All right. And what it does is it erases all the content of your device, all your passwords, all your apps, and it restores it to the way it was when you first bought it. And it's sitting there saying, hello, time to go through the registration setup procedure that Apple provides. Okay? Let's go to display and brightness.
Before you go off of that, can I ask a question about it?
Absolutely.
I have just recently got a new phone. My understanding is that's what they did when I transferred the phone, because they transferred all my equipment, all my information, and then from the phone that I turned in, would they have backed it off, taken it off?
They should have.
The store?
They should have cleared it.
Thank you.
I guess I would ask them that, you know, are you going to clear it, or can I clear it once you've done it? You know, just to make sure you see it being done.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I'm going to skip Control Center. That's for a different time. We'll talk about Control Center. Display and brightness. Okay, display and brightness, they've introduced something called light and dark mode. If I click on dark mode, see what it does? Okay, and I have mine set on automatic, right? And my option is light until sunset and then dark until sunrise. It's basically the way it works. Or you can customize it.
Is there a reason you chose that option?
Yeah, because I like it to switch to dark mode when it's nighttime because it's easier on the eyes. Okay? But you could set your own timing when you'd like it, or you can turn it off entirely.
If you have it on dark mode and you go to read a book, does it automatically open with the night view?
Yes, dark view, yes. I'm thinking Apple was smart enough to do that. I would imagine that's what they do. Here's where you change the brightness on your screen. So I like to keep mine relatively high. I have True Tone on. There's this thing called Night Shift. And it makes all the backgrounds on all your images a slightly different color. I don't know if you'll see it on this screen, but let me try it. And right now it's set here. You don't see a change. Okay, it's a switch between lighter and darker warmth. And that means it's taking out the blue. And you'll see a more taupe colored screen, right? Now, because I have dark mode, I don't use that, but my wife does use it, right? And you can say, gee, I want it on. It's going to come on at 10 p.m. and go off at 7 a.m. And again, you can adjust that time. Auto lock. Some people say my screen's gone to sleep too quickly. You can change that here. And that's display and brightness. And then under display and brightness, it's called auto lock, right? And I have mine set to never right now on both my devices. That's because I'm teaching the class and I don't want the screens to go dark. I don't recommend you have it on never because that's a pretty big drain of battery life. In fact, the display is the largest drain of your battery. I have my automatically lock when I cover it. And if your text size is too small or too large, you can adjust it here and make it slightly different size. And I have my bold text turns on. It just as a little crisper edge on the text.
Bill?
Yes.
Bill McIntyre. Could you go over raise to wake and what that means and so forth?
Where is it?
It's right above lock unlock.
Yeah. On your iPhone, you have a raise to wake. So if your phone is sleeping, right? I don't have it turned on. If you have your phone upside down on the table and you pick it and it goes to sleep automatically, if you pick it up, it will wake it up. So that's what raise to wake is supposed to be set like. Okay?
Okay. And how about unlock?
Oh, that worked. How about unlock?
Yeah, lock and unlock, what does that mean?
That's how long, I have to word this correctly. If you don't tap your screen for 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 4 minutes, if I don't tap the screen for that amount of time, it will automatically, the screen will go dark. I have my, and I don't recommend it, I have mine set on never because I'm sitting here playing with the two different devices and I don't want my devices to go to sleep right now. Usually I have it set for the iPhone between 2 and 3 minutes and the iPad at 5 minutes.
Well,
so if I don't touch it, if I don't touch my iPhone for 30 seconds now, it's going to, the screen's going to go blank. It will go to sleep. And if I have raise to wake on, when I pick it up, it will come back on. Okay?
okay, but still I don't get what lock and unlock is.
Okay. That's what unlock and lock is. Where are you looking at your iPhone or iPad, buddy?
I'm looking at both. But the lock unlock that I'm really concerned about is on the iPhone.
Right.
So it's below raise to wake, there's lock unlock. Should that be on or off?
The lock and unlock is for the cover if you have a cover for the iPad. Lock/unlock. Okay? So if you have a cover for the iPhone or iPad and you cover it, it should automatically go to sleep. So that's what on lock and unlock is.
So that's only if there's a cover on the device?
Correct.
And if there's no cover, you don't?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Okay.
So now, is that making sense then? Now, auto lock is a time delay and raise to wake. I'm going to put my device to sleep, right? Laid it on the table and I pick it up, it automatically comes on. home screen and dock. On the iPad, they've added that feature, home screen and dock, not on the iPhone. Okay? And what they've done is they've shrunk the size of the icons so that they can put the gadgets screen on the home screen. So I have mine set to bigger right now, and I'm going to go to my home screen. You'll notice the spacing of the devices. And if I scroll from right to left, I get something called the Widgets Screen. We can talk about that at a later time. And I can make it go away by just, here, let me do it with my pointer. Put my pointer right here, right? And I put my pointer, my finger here and pull this way. It pulls over the Widgets screen. Then I push it back. Now if I go to Settings, Home Screen and Dock, and I put More, and now I go back to the home screen. You'll notice how the icons have become smaller. And if I go here, now I have widgets permanently on the screen. And depending on, oh, I didn't want to do that. And depending on what you have on widgets, you get to see what's going on, right?
And that's only on the iPad, right?
That's correct.
Thank you.
The other one that people, I have multitasking. I think I have it turned on so that I can do multitasking. And again, we can talk about what multitasking is, having more than one application on your screen at the same time. And again, that's only on the iPad. And then show suggested recent apps in dock. I have mine turned off. And let me show you what the dock looks like. So the dock looks like this right now. If I change that, and I turn that feature on, what Apple has done is said, okay, and you see the line, I have more apps on my bottom line here, and I have a little line right here. Yeah. Right there, right below the circle. And to the right of that are the apps that I've recently used. And I just brought those up, so that's why they're there. Let me bring up Tips, and then go back home. And now Tips is over there. And Tips is twice. It's there, and it's under recently used. The ones on recently used will change. I think it only shows 3 or 4, and after that, it replaces the oldest one, the one you've used furthest back. Okay? I chose not to have that because it's a little confusing to me. It keeps changing, but people like it. Some people really like it. Obviously, the folks at Apple liked it. Okay? So I'm going to go back to Settings here. And I'm going to get rid of that because it's a feature I don't particularly care for. If you have someone who's vision impaired or hard of hearing, there's a feature called accessibility. Now it's primarily designed for people with vision issues. maybe they have a shaking hand and they want to change in which you use different devices, like the keyboard and the touch screen. Hearing issues. So there's a bunch of apps for that. I'm working on just a general class on accessibility. So I'm not going to spend any time on it today. But I want to let you know what it is. Be careful when using it. For example, the vision impaired, when they turn on some of these features, what you used to do with your finger on the iPad, for example, requires different actions. For example, getting to the home screen is no longer press and release the home button. It's different. It works differently. And people who are vision impaired get used to it. But for those of us who aren't and don't understand it, all of a sudden you can't get the iPad to work the way you would expect it to work. Next one is wallpaper, and I'd like everybody to go there. Everybody go to wallpaper in settings. Okay. And what it shows you are the different wallpaper or similar wallpapers you may have for your lock screen, which is the screen that comes up when you press the home button, when you first turn it on, sorry. And the screen that shows up when you've gone to one of your home screens, the background. And if you want to change that, it says choose new wallpaper there at the top. So you tap on that and it says, okay, what would you like to use? Would you like to use some of Apple's dynamic, which are little bubbles and things in the background that move, or stills? You choose stills. Here's the set of stills they have for you. You can choose one of those. Right? Now, if it's for your lock screen, choose anything you like. If it's for your home screen, don't choose one that has a lot of clutter in the back, because it's distracting. You can also go to all your photos and you can pick a photo. So if I wanted this photo to be one of my screens, I would click on it. It says, okay, this is going to be your screen. Right? And if I go set, I can either choose it to be the lock screen, the home screen, or both. So I'm going to make it my lock screen. Okay, so now it's done. And if I go back to if I turn off my device and if I turn off my device and turn it back on again, that's the screen I get.
I can't get out of stills. And the only thing I have is to choose, and I don't want to choose. And when I choose, it chooses one for me.
Hold on, let me get it. Okay, so you went into stills here. You can't get out. See the little top arrow at the top that says choose? Click that. Okay, and that's lesson number 12 for the day. If you see a little arrow at the top and it goes to the left, that means you're going to go back one level in wherever you are. Go ahead.
What if you, excuse me, what if you don't see a little arrow? I'm in settings, wallpaper, and it says choose a new wallpaper. Well, I want to get out of that and there's no little arrow. Okay, you see where it says wallpaper at the top of the screen? Yeah. And it says wallpaper on the left. Mm-hmm. Yes. That means that's where you are.
you select some other item on in the settings menu to move to the next item.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay,
Question, Bill.
go ahead.
We used to have to be worried about images burning on the screen. With the new technology, do you need to move things around the screen at an interval or so to keep from burning the image on the screen, or have they overcome that?
Roland, you're divulging your age.
Well, I don't mind telling you that, so.
No, it doesn't matter anymore.
Oh, okay. So that's good.
Okay. Siri and search. If you haven't set up Siri, go ahead and click on Siri and search there. All right. It says, "Hey Siri" on the left or in the center of the screen. That's to activate the capability to say HEYSIRI. And if you say that, it will bring up Siri. Now I choose to have that off on my iPhone and my iPad. It's on my iWatch or my Apple Watch. Okay. Press the home button and hold it down to get Siri. On your iPhone X's, you'll press the power button and hold it to get Siri.
Is that the same as the side button?
That's the power button. On the iPhone X,
Yeah, I haven't.
if you have an X,
XR.
it is the power button, yes.
Like it says,
The side
it just says press side button.
Okay. You can allow Siri to operate when your phone is locked. I choose to have it off on my iPhone, and on my iPad. I choose a language. I like Siri's Aussie accent. Right? Now be careful, if you choose a foreign language, you have to be able to speak that foreign language. Okay? And I have asked for an Aussie female in Siri voice. I guess I can change language. Can I change language to English?
I'm Siri, your virtual assistant.
Say that again. Oh, somebody got it already. Okay. Voice feedback, because it's a female voice, you don't have a choice. I'm not getting any reaction to that. Women always get the last word. Okay. All right. Oh, I don't want Siri voice to be a male. I want it to be a female.
I'm Siri, your virtual assistant.
Thank you, Siri. Okay.
I noticed when you changed one, it changed the other one automatically between your iPad and iPhone.
No, I went in and changed it, I thought. On both.
Yeah, but I also noticed when you changed one, about a few seconds later, the other one changed.
Okay, good. The key one here I'd like everybody to set is, you see where it says My Info? One of the first classes, or second class, we went into contacts and we put your name in contacts. What I'd like you to do is have, right here it says My Info, Bill Crow. If you click that, go down and find your name in contacts and select your name. And the reason you're doing that is so that Siri knows who you are, where you live. So you can say, Siri, call home, or Siri, take me home. You can do all those kinds of things. You can also add some things like your relatives or your friends in your contact information. And you can say, Siri, call my. And when you use the word my, it comes to here. It comes to your information, right? My means Bill Crow, right? So when I say call my wife, and my wife's identified in my contact information, it will come up and call my wife. I was demoing this for the Stug general meeting, and I said, call my wife one time, and it said, which wife? That's because I had her in there twice. But anyway, right?
Comment, when I push mine, it has I have my information, Leah Pittard, and when I push the button, I get my entire list of contacts.
Yes, that's because you could change it to a different person, Leah.
Okay, thank you.
Right.
I could put that in to call my daughter if I wanted to,
No,
right?
no. If you go to your contact information and add a relation, so you'd have to go back to contacts, find your name, open your name, edit it, and then find where it says relations. And then you want to add a contact there, like your daughter, you could add it there.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. If you haven't used Siri before, when you turn it on, it will come up and say, hey, I'm Siri, right?
Bill, mine's asking for my password, my Google password. Why is that?
Not your Google password, your Apple password.
It's asking, enter the Google password.
Where are you?
I just found my name and I clicked on my name and it says enter Google password for annross8@gmail.com in settings.
Okay, you were trying to add your information?
I was finding my name.
No. Are you in Siri and search and you went to my information?
Yes.
And you clicked there?
Yes.
And you went down to your name?
I finally found it. Yes.
Okay. So it looks like you haven't, I'm not sure why it's asking for that, but you should put it in.
I have, my name's in 1,000,000 times for some reason. And
That's okay. So you've been adding your name a couple of times. Find the one that has the most information, and that's the one you want to use.
The most information.
And delete all the rest.
How do I delete them?
In contacts, you open the contact you want to get rid of, and at the bottom it says delete contacts.
If she does a merge contacts.
Is that an app, or can you do it? I think that's an app, isn't it?
Oh, I don't recall.
I think there's an app that will merge contacts, but I don't think it does it. I don't think Apple does it automatically.
Oh, okay.
They may. I mean, it's a feature they could add. Touch ID and passcode. This is where you would set up so you're able to lock your device. And if you've locked it, don't mess with it. Leave it alone. Just don't lose that code, whatever it is. And some people say, well, I put in my fingerprint. Well, no matter what, it always has to have the passcode as well. Where it takes a picture.
Are we to put the passcode in at that point on the phone?
It's all, if it's requesting it, it's already there. Yeah, I have to go back in the
When
phone.
I open it up, it's all the blanks, there's the blanks.
I'm on my phone, it should ask you for your passcode if you have one.
Enter your passcode.
Okay, if it's asking for one, that means you already have one set up.
That again, if it asks for it, it's already there.
Okay, let me start over again. It says mine says facial ID or passcode and passcode, and I tap it, and it comes up and says enter your 4-digit or 6-digit passcode. That means you already have one, so if you want to change it or do something with it, you have to enter the one you have.
Okay, I understand. Since there's 6 little zeros and there's 6 in my passcode, that means it has it.
That's correct.
Thank you.
You have a passcode. This is where you went to set it originally, or you did it when you set up your phone. Okay?
Yes, I did.
What was that question? We good? Let me keep going.
No, I have one other question, Bill. I'm sorry, but
Go ahead.
I'm trying to put trying to put, I'm in the accounts now, and I'm trying to re-enter the password. Settings wants to use google.com to sign in. Should I allow that? This allows the app and website to share information about you.
Where are you, Ann?
I'm in settings, accounts. Oh, I'm sorry, settings, Gmail, my accounts, passwords and accounts.
Okay. On your iPhone or iPad?
On the iPad.
You went into settings, and then where from there? Passwords and accounts?
Passwords and accounts. It took me there when I was trying to put the password in, so that
I understand. Passwords and accounts, and then where'd you go?
Gmail, I guess.
And now it's asking for the Gmail password. So yeah, you need to put in the Gmail password. Occasionally you have to do that.
However, when I press re-enter password, nothing happens.
Oh, it's open?
I'm not sure where you are then. Yeah. Where did you press? Website, app passwords, or somewhere else?
I'm on passwords and accounts. I was trying to put in that password. As you told me I needed to do that. And so it took me to passwords and accounts. And it says up at the top, it says Gmail. And to the left, it says accounts.
Okay.
And there was a problem assessing your account. Please re-enter the password for annross8@gmail.com.
That's where you want to do.
When I try to do that on re-enter password, it doesn't do anything. It sits there.
I'm not sure, Ann. I'd have to be able to see that one.
Okay.
All right. You should be able to put in the password at this point, somewhere on that screen.
Well, the pop-up says settings wants to use google.com to sign in.
Okay. And again, stay on after class and we'll share your screen and play with it. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right. What else we're going to do here? I want to switch gears now a little bit. We almost completed all settings. The only one I wanted to get into was passwords and accounts, I think. Could everybody go down in settings to where it says messages? And does your screen look like mine? I'll go there on both my devices. Okay, is messages turned on? If it is not, you may have to enter your Apple password. The same with FaceTime. Go down to that and make sure that's FaceTime is on. Looks similar to mine. If you're getting phone calls on your iPad, here's where you would go to turn that feature off. Right? So if you get a phone call on your cellular phone, it would ring on your iPad, unless you have that feature turned off.
Can you then talk on your iPad?
I believe you can. Okay.
Bill, how did you get where you are now?
Settings, FaceTime.
Settings, FaceTime.
Yep. And you can see it on the screen is my iPad and my iPhone.
Thank you.
Okay.
And if you have an Android and not an iPhone, you're not going to see where it says calls from iPhone. I don't see that on my iPad at all.
If you have an Android?
Yes, I have an Android phone.
Correct. You won't see that on your iPad.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Right. Why do you have, no.
Because it's so smart.
Oh, yeah.
Question under messages section. And I clicked on messages. I have iMessage and it's open. And then it says send and receive to addresses.
I have
and
three.
I clicked on that.
Yeah.
And I have an Apple ID, iCloud, like a email address, and then my home phone. It says you can receive messages to and from both of those things, and you can start conversations from both of those things.
Correct. I have three.
I don't ever remember putting in the the iCloud, Apple ID, iCloud information. Apparently it came on its own, right?
Yes.
So how do I use it?
Turn it on. Somebody sends you a message to the iCloud address. It will come on your iPad, right?
On my iPhone.
Or your iPhone.
So they would have to send a message to the iCloud address.
Correct.
Do I tell anybody what it is, or because I don't know that I've ever told anybody what it is.
So don't worry about it.
Thank you.
That's my remedy to that.
Bill, can you hear me?
Yes.
I've got underneath this iMessage and to and reply from, I've got my Gmail, I've got at iCloud.com and at me.com. Presumably I can just uncheck those?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. I'd like to spend
a question about the iCloud. If I were to put in my Verizon.net email address, would it show up there?
The reason it's there on mine is that's my Apple ID.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. enough on settings. Let's do something a little more adventuresome here. Everybody go back to your home screens, right? And let's go to messages. And let's start a new message. And you start a new message by tapping the little pen and paper beside the word message. There's 3 dots, and then there's a little pen and paper. Click on that, and you'll get 2. And now you can, oh, Leah, what's your email address?
She's muted.
Yes, my email address is rockpitt, ROCKPITT, the number 2 at verizon.net.
ROCKPIT.
2 T's, PITT, the number 2 at verizon.net.
Oh, let's see what happens when I do that.
You got it.
I know. Let's see if anything happens. Okay, so I'm going to send, what I'd like everybody else to do is put in my email address. That's I'd like you to put in my Apple address, actually. W as in William, T as in Thomas, CROWE at verizon.net.
Do I need to let you know that I don't have my email set up on my iPhone?
You have your messages set up.
Yes, I do.
Did you get a message from me?
Not yet.
Oh, it hasn't been delivered yet. Okay, what's your Apple ID?
Apple rockpit2 at iCloud.com.
Two T's.
2 T's.
2 T's. iCloud.net. .com, excuse me.
Ah. Everybody's better be sending me emails here. Okay. Okay, you should have gotten the message. Yeah. All right. Keep going, folks. Wish I was a way I could send them all back quickly.
Is it test email?
Yes.
And I got it.
Good.
11:54.
Forgive me for making the message so short, but I'm trying to get one to everybody here.
Bill, I'm trying to get to the keyboard. How do I get to the keyboard to send the message?
Tap the screen, and your keyboard should automatically show up.
Thank you.
And it will, what you're entering will go. I'm sending everybody the same message, but we could be having, oh, come on, Jim. Don't send back yet. Somebody sent me a political one. Let me get rid of that one. Okay. So now I've got this message from all of you folks, or as many of you who sent me one. And notice how I've got phone numbers on some, and that was from your phones who sent it. Okay. Ooh. Leah, you with us, Leah?
Yes, sir.
Would you please send me, would you please take my message I sent you and start typing a response at the bottom where it says iMessage? And I'd like everybody to look at the screen on the iPad. Which one are you responding to? Okay. You see the three dots? See the three dots? That means she's writing a response to me right now. And she's not beside me. She could be in, Bogota, right? And I would know that she's generating some kind of response to me. They do that so that you don't start typing, and it may be she's already answering what you're going to ask. Does that make sense to everybody?
That's not the one.
Bill, I've never understood this because she hasn't hit send. How does this work?
Because she was in the email or the message I sent her. So it knows where it came from.
Oh, okay.
It says it at the top. At the top bar has BC Bill under it, and then it has the message, and in the message, and then I typed my response.
Right. And you'll notice it's in blue.
Yes.
The message
If
I
it's a
sent,
different
the message
company
I
phone, it's
sent
in
on
green.
my screen is in blue. That means the person I'm sending it to is using an iPhone or iPad device. Okay?
The message that I got from you is in regular black type in a grayish background, which it usually is when it comes to me. But when I send it out, it's in blue.
That's correct. That's because where you're sending it. Look here on the one that I sent to you. I got to find the other one now. Let me go down. Where's Rockbit? Oh, there's one. Yeah, all of you are using, if it showed up in green, that means it's a device that's not, they don't have an iPhone or an iPad. So if you're getting a message from somebody, I gotta go there. Okay, now somebody got fancy on me. Okay, and I was going to get to fanciness. Okay.
Bill, I have a question.
Go ahead.
I'm confused. Generally I use a phone number when I text message.
Yes.
And your address, I use a email address to send a text.
You could have used your cell phone number. Either one.
Okay. It doesn't matter.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Couple of things, couple of panache things, right? If you look at the bottom bar here, and if you don't have this bottom bar going, again, ooh, what happened? You don't have this bottom bar going across the bottom. The way you get it is you tap the little popsicle sticks with the A, and you'll get that little bar under where you would type the message. And let's just add a couple of things. You could add, you see where the looks like a little tennis racket? You click on it, and it comes up with videos. Okay, so Joanne, I'm going to send you, and I want to find something. So I click the search bar and I say fun, F-U-N-S-T-U-F-F. So we'll see what it comes up with, fun stuff. All right. And I'm going to tap on one of these. And these are short vignettes. Okay. I'm going to tap that one. And now I'm going to send that whole thing to her. Okay. And I'm not sure who I'm sending this one to. Okay, Barb. I'm going to send you, and I'm going to tap on my iPhone the faces there. Now, not all of you may have those, but if I tap the faces, I can say, oh, I'm going to get really fancy. I don't want to do that. Let's tap the owl. And I'm going to tap the owl with stars. And I send that. Okay? So you get what I'm doing there, everybody?
Yep.
You can do that. And I don't have time to go through all of you and see that.
Hello.
Oh, here's what Jim sent me. Okay. Ann sent me happy dance. Get the idea, everybody? And that's enough for today. We can kick it off there the next time. I think I'm going to send out a note to all of you saying I'm having a class next Saturday. Okay?
Super.
And we'll continue here. We'll cover the last couple of settings I wanted to cover. We'll continue on this. And I may then branch into email and Safari. Oh, and I got to cover books as well. Okay?
Bill, you'll talk about remember I asked about the ICE setting for a contract?
Yes.
About that next time as well.
Yes, I want to cover, let me write that down because I want to make sure I do that. It's called emergency settings.
Thank you.
For the iPhone.
Thank
Okay?
you, Bill.
All right, folks.
Wonderful. Thank you
Have
so
a
much.
safe,
Outstanding.
Healthy
Thank you.
weekend.
You too.
Bill.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, Bill.
Yeah.
Very
Thank
helpful.
you. Great class.
Thanks, Bill. Great.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Also for the things that you've sent, the one that had the way to do the various like voicemail. I've started using it. I love it.
Yeah.
And then the other little thing with all the symbols. Thank
Yeah.
you for those extra.
Yes,
You're welcome.
very helpful.
Okay.
Bye now.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
You hang on, and I'll be
Bye.
right back.